Have you ever been asked a question by a woman that felt innocent on the surface, but deep down you knew there was something behind it? Something emotional, something testing you. Something that, if you answered wrong, would change the way she saw you forever. It's the kind of question that seems small, but it carries weight, a hidden meaning, a trap that most men don't even realize they're stepping into. Today we're going to talk about that question and why. The Stoics would tell you to never answer it. Not because you're hiding something, but because the answer doesn't exist in words. It exists in who you are. Let's start with a story. A man named Daniel was sitting with his girlfriend, Emily. They'd been together for a while. Everything seemed fine, until she looked at him and asked quietly, "Do you still love me the same way you used to?" Simple question, right? But Daniel froze, because no matter how he answered, it would be wrong. If he said, "Of course I do," she'd think he was just saying it to make her feel better. If he said, "Things have changed," she'd feel rejected. And if he stayed silent, she'd call him cold. Most people panic in moments like that. They rush to say the right thing, to fix the discomfort. But that's exactly the mistake the Stoics warn us about. Letting emotions push us into reacting. Epictetus once said, "It's not what happens to you, but how you respond that matters." The Stoics believed our peace is destroyed not by what others say, but by our need to control their perception of us. And when a woman asks that kind of question, "Do you love me? Do you think I'm pretty? Would you still want me if I changed?" It's rarely about the words. It's about emotional security. She's asking to feel seen, not to hear a rehearsed answer. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it." And that's why the Stoic man doesn't rush to answer such questions. He pauses, not because he doesn't care, but because he refuses to let emotion control his truth. Let's break this down. The first reason you should never answer certain questions from a woman is because some questions are emotional tests, not logical ones. They're not meant to be solved. They're meant to reveal your stability. When she asks, "Would you still love me if I lost everything?" she's not looking for reassurance. She's looking for your composure. She wants to see if you panic or stay calm, if your love is reactive or grounded. A Stoic doesn't chase validation or fear disapproval. He stays rooted in who he is, regardless of the question. Second, your reaction reveals your emotional leadership. When you instantly rush to comfort or defend yourself, you show that her emotions control you. And once that happens, attraction fades. Not because she's cruel, but because instinctively, women respect emotional strength. A Stoic man doesn't over-explain or over-promise. He listens, he understands, but he doesn't perform. His peace speaks louder than his defense. Third, answering emotionally charged questions often feeds insecurity instead of healing it. Let's say she asks, "Do you think I'm enough for you?" If you answer with passion and say, "Of course you are. You're perfect," it sounds sweet, but emotions change daily. Tomorrow, when she feels off again, she'll ask the same question. Stoicism teaches that peace built on reassurance is fragile. True peace comes when both people learn to master their emotions instead of feeding them. Fourth, the Stoic approach is presence, not persuasion. A man grounded in Stoic calm doesn't try to prove his love through words. He shows it through consistency, discipline, and presence. You don't need to tell her how much she means to you every time she doubts. It's shown in the way you treat her, how you lead your life, and how you stay grounded under pressure. Seneca said, "A man who suffers before it is necessary suffers more than is necessary." The same goes for relationships. Don't suffer trying to convince someone of something they can already feel if you're truly living it. Fifth, many of these questions come from fear, and fear can't be reasoned with. If a woman asks, "Why don't you talk to me like before?" or "Have I changed for you?" what she's really expressing is, "I'm afraid of losing the version of us I loved." The Stoic man doesn't respond with logic. He responds with grounded presence. He might smile gently and say, "We change, but I'm here." Short, calm, sincere, because reassurance through peace is far more powerful than reassurance through panic. Let's go back to Daniel. When Emily asked, "Do you still love me the same way you used to?" He felt that wave of anxiety that needed to fix it, but he stopped. He took a breath and looked at her, not with defensiveness, not with pity, but with calm presence. He said, "Love changes shape, Emily, but I'm still here." She didn't smile right away. She looked at him for a few seconds, confused, but something shifted. She saw that his calm wasn't detachment, it was stability. She leaned closer. She didn't need a speech. She needed peace. That's the power of not answering the wrong question. You're not being cold. You're being grounded. You're teaching your emotions to serve you, not enslave you. Now let's make this practical. The next time you're asked a question that feels like a trap, something like, "Why don't you care anymore?" Or, "What are we really?" Don't rush. Pause, breathe, listen beyond the words. Ask yourself, what's the emotion underneath this? Is it fear? Is it insecurity? Is it testing my strength? Then answer that emotion, not the question. Sometimes silence is the most loving response. Sometimes a calm smile says more than 1,000 words. The Stoic man doesn't avoid emotion, he simply refuses to drown in it. There's another reason the Stoics would tell you not to answer everything asked of you. You lose power when you try to prove yourself through explanation. Every time you rush to defend, justify, or convince, you teach others that your truth is negotiable. But when you remain calm and firm, you teach that your value stands with or without approval. Women, and people in general, feel this energy. When your peace doesn't depend on their reaction, it earns respect. It might not earn instant comfort, but it earns long-term trust. Epictetus reminded his students, "If someone speaks ill of you, do not defend yourself. Respond with silence or say, 'He does not know me well enough to speak truly.'" The same applies here. When a woman asks a loaded question, your job isn't to react. It's to reveal who you are through calm truth. Remember this, you can't love someone properly if you're afraid of their emotional waves. The Stoics believed that love should come from strength, not need. If you're always answering out of fear of losing them, it's not love, it's dependency. A Stoic man isn't unfeeling, he's unshaken. He doesn't withdraw from emotion, he stays centered through it. That calm presence, that silence, that soft confidence, that's what draws people in. When you stop chasing the right words, you start living with the right energy. So what's the real lesson here? Never answer a question that tries to measure your worth. Your feelings or your loyalty. Live in such a way that those questions dissolve on their own. Because the truth is, when your actions speak with consistency, your silence becomes louder than any answer could be. The woman who once asked, "Do you still love me the same?" will stop asking, not because she heard the right sentence, but because she feels your calm, grounded energy every day. And that's the peace Stoicism teaches us to live with. Peace not built on pleasing, but on presence. So the next time that question comes, the one that feels like a test, don't rush to fill the silence. Breathe, smile gently. Stay grounded, because in that moment, your peace is your answer. With that said, if you found value in this, share your thoughts below and subscribe for more lessons that bring ancient wisdom into the modern world. With that said, thanks for watching, and until next time.